Hi, I'm Steve Valk, Communications Director with Citizens Climate Lobby, and welcome to another Media Tip of the Month. This month we're going to talk a little bit about connecting with reporters. So, from time to time, you'll have news that you want to share with media outlets. Maybe you have a district congressman who's joining the Climate Solutions Caucus, some community event. Maybe you have volunteers going to Washington. But the time to connect with reporters is before you have a press release to send out. So start reading publications, both print and online, to identify the journalists that you want to cultivate as media contacts. And you can reach out to them through email or Twitter, but the best time to contact them is when they've just published a story you can respond to. So let's look at an example. Just before New Year's, President Trump posted a tweet about the frigid weather with a sarcastic comment about global warming. In the East, it could be the coldest New Year's Eve on record. Perhaps we could use a little bit of that good old global warming that our country, not other countries, was going to pay trillions of dollars to protect against. Bundle up. Well, many publications ran stories about the reaction to Trump's tweet, including The Hill, which is a very influential paper in Washington that's kind of considered must-reading for congressional staffers. And down in the story, I noticed that a couple of Democrats were quoted, including Senator Kamala Harris and also Congresswoman Kathleen Rice. So I remembered earlier in the day that Representative Carlos Curbelo, who happens to be the Republican co-chair of the Climate Solutions Caucus, posted a tweet responding to Trump. And this is what he said. He said, if this isn't a joke, it should be. Average global temperatures are rising. So are sea levels. That's not good for South Florida. It was a mistake to leave the Paris Agreement, and it's misleading to cite the temperature on any given day to dismiss dangerous risks posed by CO2 emissions. So I thought, wow, well, this is a great opportunity to connect with the reporter and show him how he could actually make his story better. So I tracked his email address down. And by the way, we have a database with tens of thousands of media contacts. So if you're having trouble finding contact information for a reporter, you can send me a note and we'll see if we can track that down for you. But I wrote a note to the reporter, and you'll notice that in the subject line of my email, I used the headline from the story. And that way the reporter could instantly see that the email was responding to his story. And if you want to get a reporter's attention, send them a note about something that they've written. I guarantee they will read that email. So here's the note that I sent to him. I said, John, thanks for posting this story about the response to Trump's absurd tweet about global warming. Noticed you had comments from a couple of Democrats. Think you might add a comment from a Republican? Here's what Carlos Curbelo, Republican co-chair of the Climate Solutions Caucus, tweeted. So I included the link to the tweet and said, Happy New Year. Well, later on, I got a reply. He said, Hi, Steve. Sorry for just now getting back to you. I ran it by my editors, and we'd like to fold Representative Curbelo's tweet into a separate post, as we don't have any other reactions from Republicans on that tweet as far as I know. If your office would like to provide a broader statement, I'd love to include that as well. Let me know if there's anything I can add. Thanks for reaching out, John. Okay, so would I like to provide a broader statement? You bet I would. So I drafted a statement from Mark, and I got his okay, and sent it to the reporter. And in my note, when I sent the statement to the reporter, I also asked, I said, hey, by the way, I currently don't have you on my media list for press releases. Would you like to be added? Thanks for the opportunity to weigh in. And of course, I got a response back from him. He said, thanks, Steve. Yes, you can add me to your press list. We'll add this to the piece. Have a good night. So next thing you know, There's a story posted on the Hill about Curbello's response to Trump, and it includes our statement. And here it is. Curbello's tweet was applauded Friday by environmental activists, including the Citizens Climate Lobby, which issued a statement praising him and the Climate Solutions Caucus. The science is settled on climate change, and when the president issues misleading and inaccurate statements like this, it distracts us from the conversation we should be having about solving the problem, said the group's executive director, Mark Reynolds. Fortunately, there are Republicans on the Climate Solutions Caucus who recognize that climate change is a serious threat to our nation, and they're working on solutions. So here you have it. Not only did I make a connection with the new reporter, but we also got the Climate Solutions Caucus into a story with a quote from Citizens Climate Lobby. So that's our media tip for February. We'll see you next month.